What about e-commerce in Turkey? I mean, anybody on the panel has any views? Is this
Is
more growing?
E-commerce is booming.
E-commerce is booming. Yeah.
Is it going to be? I mean, we see that in other countries. Ultimately, the future of retail is going to be shaped by what will happen to e-commerce. This will have implications also for investment.
There's a couple of local companies which grow great growth through the e-commerce, but great growth. I think beyond what their expectations were. E-commerce is a big thing. You have to bear in mind, like we were mentioning before, this is a young population, very acquainted with new technologies, very up to trend with whatever is happening around in Europe or anywhere in the world. So e-commerce is as any other places in Europe, very developed.
I just want to give you one example. In 1999, the internet user was in the whole Turkey was 2.5 million. I mean, this was the statistics. Today it's about 45 million. So
in a city like Istanbul,
Yeah.
assume that.
I mean, there's a huge investment on the technologies. I mean, and a huge, and even the Turkish investors or the foreign investors are investing, and the e-commerce as he said, is booming today.
A little note maybe on that. E-commerce, especially on retail, is booming because there is also e-commerce on various other sectors. For example, Groupon has entered into Turkish market and it is successful. But some other similar websites, so to say, although with foreign investment, turn out to be unsuccessful and pulling out from Turkey. So it's actually mostly how the market reacts. But for retail, there is one after another. It started with Marco Foni and currently even almost every little retailer has its own website to sell its goods. So for retail, there is a big future. So
e-commerce is growing very fast. I think one of the main advantages in Turkey, because we also see retailers now also developing from purely offline to offline online. I think the key advantage in the market is that the total market is growing at a good speed. So the e-commerce, it's also growing very fast, but the total market can absorb it. And that also enables basically the real estate investors, developers, managers to actually go also from bricks and mortar to bricks and clicks. There is not a panic in that sense in the market like we see in other markets. And I think that's going to be the challenge of in Turkey also for the coming years, learning from also the, let's say, the bricks and click trends we see happening in the international world, we see happening in Europe, Asia, to copy and innovate that for the Turkish market, make it ready. And the key advantage for the Turkish players is that we can do it in a growing market context.
Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Maybe a little bit of contribution of that question because we are investor and developer of logistics assets in Turkey and we have significant tenants in e-commerce. And in addition to what has been said is also the big giants, the internet giants, they are also planning to place Turkey as a hub and a regional hub to serve countries nearby. So that's also an interesting opportunity for them.